Okay, we're gonna begin on our model today. I'm gonna start with a primer. Younger kids probably don't need a primer. The older they get, the more they need it, especially if you're dancing all day long. And I just put the primer all over. It helps the makeup stay on the skin. I do use an eyeshadow primer. Not everybody needs it. It really is up to you. You can get any of these primers anywhere at Target, at Walgreens. If you have them, you can get them anywhere really. They don't have to be expensive. They could be cheap. Walmart, anywhere. Okay, so after that, we're gonna let it sit a minute, and then we're gonna begin with the eyeshadow. You can use any brush with that. I use brushes, but you can also buy sponge applicators. They sell those at Fry's. They sell those anywhere. So we're gonna start with Drive, which is right here, and we're gonna put that on the whole lid. Make sure that when you're applying it, you use plenty. I always start with eyeshadow before I do face makeup, but you don't have to. You can do it however you want. I like to start with it. Again, you don't want to be washed out under the heavy lights, so please make sure you apply plenty. So we did her lid. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you see, it's not perfectly done. We're gonna blend it and fix it. The next we're going to do is Stylin', which is the middle, and it's the darker one. And we're gonna do it on the corner of her eye, right there. And I kind of just do the corner and blend it a little. Don't bring it all the way in. And then I'm gonna go back to the brush that I used, or the side of the brush I used, and just kind of blend them together. So if you can see, the lighter part is most of the lid and the dark is just from the corner going out. You don't want to bring it all the way in. Sometimes it makes the eye look too heavy. Then I'm going to apply just a little bit of the Dominant, which is the dark on the bottom, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And again, I'm just kind of doing the outer edge. Then I'm gonna go to my white eyeshadow. You can use any white eyeshadow. This doesn't have to be the Tarte. I'm just gonna use my white eyeshadow and do a little bit of the inner corner. This brightens and opens the eyes up. And I'm gonna kind of bring it along the top. Really just to kind of clean everything up. I'm gonna do one eye first. Now, our model today has eyelash extensions. Normally, this is where I would put the eyelashes on. So right now you would put eyelashes on. If you have eyelash extensions, you don't have to do that. We recommended Mod Lash 33 just because those are thicker. We like the thicker ones. You might have to cut to apply those. After you do that though, after you apply the eyelashes, I go back through and I apply black eyeliner to the top, and it kind of fills in the gap between the lash and the lid. Can you open? And then I apply a little bit on the bottom, just about halfway. And sometimes I'll take my finger and smear it just a little bit. I like to bring it out at the corner to tie it together. Then after this, I take mascara And I'll put it on the lash. I'll take it, I'm not gonna do this on her eyelash extensions, but if you had fake eyelashes, I would take the mascara and do it together. So it would kind of bring the lashes and the fake eyelashes together. It brings them together. And I'm gonna apply a little bit on her lower lashes. Again, they're under very bright, harsh lights. So please make sure you put plenty of makeup on them. The eyes are the first thing to get washed out. I'm just gonna add a little bit. Can you open? I'm gonna add a little bit of the white right here. Again, just to open the eye up and make it pop. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to use a brow liner. You can use any brow liner you want. Make sure it matches you. And I really just do it, you don't have to do it dark. You're just kind of evening them out. I don't do a ton of it. I just kind of even it out. And I like this one because afterwards you can brush it and it makes it more natural looking. But if you see, it's not super harsh. It just evens her eyebrows out.
Your time to shine.
Okay, next we're gonna apply a foundation that matches the skin of your dancer. This you just have to try out and check. Again, you can get it at CoverGirl, Maybelline, you can get it at Fry's, at Walmart, at Walgreens. I have two different things. I have a foundation brush or a foundation sponge. You can use either, there's no right or wrong. I actually use both for different things. I use this to apply, and you want to really even out their skin. I know it seems a little crazy when you have younger dancers to be applying so much makeup, but it really does make such a huge difference when they're all on stage. It doesn't, on the stage with the harsh lights, it does not look like they have much on. As you can see, even in the video, we applied the eyeshadow pretty heavy and you really can't tell. Anytime lights or a camera is involved, it kind of washes them out a little bit. So we're gonna just blend it all in. So I'm going a little faster. I would normally take my time a little bit. This is also a good time when you can, if any powder has fallen off of their face from the eyeshadow, this is a good way to kind of clean it up. You just kind of go underneath. Again, she has eyelash extensions, but make sure eyelashes are a huge part. They have to have eyelashes. I've already done her brows and her eyes, so I'm gonna just go around those areas and not over them. So I've evened out her skin tone. With the older girls, I will sometimes take a little bit of concealer, and you can use any concealer. Will you look up? With the older girls, I'll use concealer, and I will just do a little bit under their eyes. And this is where I take my sponge and kind of blend it. It just helps brighten their eyes a little bit. It kind of opens their eyes up so they don't get lost with the harsh lights and all the makeup. Be careful if you've put the white on that you don't wipe it. Well, you should have the white on. Be careful you don't wipe it off. You can also use this to kind of even it out. So now after this step, this is when I usually apply a setting powder. A setting powder isn't necessary. Again, this is more for older kids. I think a setting powder is great because it holds their makeup if they sweat. If they're doing a lot of dances, sometimes they tend to do that. So it keeps everything in place. I use a Sephora setting powder. It's actually pretty cheap. And I just put it all over their face makeup so it doesn't come off. I don't do the eyeshadow. That's kind of what you have the primer for. And it kind of takes the shine off of their face makeup also. Again, this is not required. It's just something that I suggest to people, a setting powder. Okay, so we're gonna use our brush. This is a required color. And all you're gonna do is start at the apple of her cheek and you're gonna bring it up. We like a lot of blush, but start and add to it. You don't wanna have too much. And you just bring it up from the apple of the cheek, bring it up. Again, this is something we do like a lot, but start with less and add to it. Then we're gonna apply a highlighter. A highlighter we're just going to apply right around their eyes. It just kind of makes them pop, and on the tip of their nose. You can use any highlighter. I suggest a lighter color. So this is one that we're using today. We're using this, not the blush, but we're gonna just take it and we're gonna go, I go right above the blush, and then around the eye. It just makes the eye pop, especially once you have all of this heavy makeup on. You want to just keep that eye nice and open. And then I add some to the tip of the nose. And if you look, we have added some blush. So see how heavy her blush is. Even though it might look heavy to you on a stage far in the back, it doesn't. The last step we have is the lipstick. Again, this is a MAC matte, and it is called D is for Danger. Before you do it, sometimes if your lips are dry, which can happen in summer, we have you put on just a little bit of lip gloss. You don't have to, it just helps it go on a little smoother. With a matte lipstick, there's not a lot of room for error. So sometimes just have them put on just a little bit of chapstick or something just to help it go on smoothly. And then you're gonna apply this. Okay, kiss. And then I just kind of go through afterwards and make sure I've done it evenly. Fix any corrections you have. I sometimes go over a lip. Now, the last thing I do, and you don't have to, I do a setting spray. This is a Sephora setting spray. Again, this is pretty cheap, but you can get a setting spray anywhere. Fry's, Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere. Close your eyes. Have them close their eyes. And then I just spray it. And it looks a little wet, but once it dries, it keeps your makeup set. I always say have makeup wipes on hand. There's sometimes mistakes that happen. And you can just wipe off a section and keep going. Afterwards, the girls like it too.